Welcome back to the show. Today we're going to be talking about something that really affects all of us at some point in life, and that is grief. And how even in the hardest seasons, hope can still find its way in. My guest is Theo Boyd, who's been on the podcast before, talking about her book, My Grief Is Not Like Yours, and we're going to talk about that some more as well. But you have a new book coming out in December called Hope All the Way. Good to have you here.
Thank you for having me back.
Well, your story about grief, I mean, you just had a tremendous amount of tragedy when your parents passed away. So let's just talk briefly about, what the basis of your first book was.
Well, like I said in the first podcast, my life was perfect. Everything was great in June of 2019. And then July 29th, 2019, I got a phone call that there'd been an accident on the family farm and learned that my father had accidentally run over my mom with one of the tractors. And they were 6 months shy of their 50th wedding anniversary. So rather than planning for the celebration, we had to transition and start planning for my mom's funeral. And then a few months after that, my counselor died suddenly that was counseling me and my dad. And then a few months after that, I learned of some infidelity with my husband. So we go through a divorce, which
That's a different kind of grief, but very much a grief.
Oh, very much. And then 3 years after Mama's accident, I went to surprise Daddy on Father's Day and found he'd taken his life. So all along that way, I was journaling and writing. Being an English teacher at Waxahachie High School and a creative writing teacher, I'd always told my kids to get out whatever's in here and put it on the page. Mm-hmm. And so I was putting it on the page, and I just wrote, never really intended it to be a book to help other people. It was to help me.
Right.
And then I
therapy.
And it helped so much. I told you I'd be writing and I'd look down at my keyboard and my hands would be just wet with tears. And I realized that was healing me. So along with writing the first book and that healing, I continued to write. And I was writing about all the things I thought needed to go in that first book. But now looking back, I'm so glad that I listened to the publishers and everybody and said, the book's big enough, and said, you need to put the signs, what you're wanting to fit in this book in a new book.
There you go, a sequel.
Yes. So this book, Hope All the Way, does stand on its own. You can read it and not have to have read the first one because I will catch you up in it.
Sure, yeah.
But it helps. If you've read the first one, My Grief Is Not Like Yours, you already know me and you know the story and you know how I write. And so the second book is just like the icing on the cake.
Yeah. Well, it's very raw, very real, the way you express yourself. How did you come to realize that your grief is not like other people's grief?
Well, a lot of people have asked me, what about that title for the first book, My Grief Is Not Like Yours? Uh-huh. I wrote that book with the intention that whoever held that book as their own would own that title for themselves. Because early on in my, that they could say, my grief is not like yours.
Right.
Because early on in my grief, I felt very unheard. And it wasn't an intention of anyone. It was just a well-meaning people that would just offer comparisons or a way to relate to me.
Right, or maybe what helped them get through bad times, which they're well-meaning.
They are, and bless their hearts, I tried to relate, but all that kept echoing in my mind was, my grief is not like yours. My grief is not like yours. My dad ran over my mom with a tractor. I can't relate to anybody unless your dad ran over your mom with a tractor.
Yeah,
I realized there has to be a lot of people out there. There have to be more people feeling the way I'm feeling, unheard and unwitnessed. Mm-hmm. So I wrote the first book and tried to bring a voice to grief. And now with the second book, trying to bring a new voice to grief, but with hope in sight.
Yeah. Well, and I guess maybe this is something that you may be addressing in the second book, Hope All the Way. What were the most unexpected parts of your grief journey?
I would have to say that the book helped other people, number one. I was like, wow.
Well, that's good, and that's encouraging.
It's like when you're a school teacher, for those of you out there that have done that or are doing that, your gratifying moments are when your students will look at you and be like, I get it now. It's like, aha, they had the aha moment. Well, at a book event, when somebody come up to my table and want me to sign their book that they brought with them that had notes in it, I'm just like, oh my goodness, I get chills. And I'm like, that's my aha moment, because they get it. They get what I'm writing, and they feel it, because I'm a feeler. So I love when I've got somebody. So those have been the most gratifying and shocking at the same time. But also seeing how our society looks at grief, seeing how our society treats grief. And I wanted to look further into that. So as a teacher, I would tell my students, when you're writing about something, you need to research it. You need to know what you're writing about. So I recently, a year ago, started a research study with the Center of Generational Kinetics out of Austin, Texas. And I have a full research study now. It's called The Silent Weight of Grief in America. It's a national study, and I've included parts of it in this new book. And in the new book, there's a QR code where you can download the full study, the full grief study. And it's the state of grief in America, basically.
Well, when we talked before, it was like right after the July 4th flooding that happened in Kerrville, and just suddenly scores of families were dealing with just indescribable loss of little children and even whole families that were just wiped out. Looking back on that, what have you gleaned from the study that can help people process these things?
The study is giving a voice to the voiceless, the ones that feel like they're not heard, and thinking about that, the flooding and that collective grief. Our country is in a collective grief. Texas was experiencing a collective grief. That's where we all are grieving this catastrophic thing. Like 9/11, that was a collective grief where the nation, the world mourned and grieved. So looking at the research study and looking at collective grief, they kind of go hand in hand in some aspects, like 80% of grieving Americans. So we questionnaire, 1,000 participants all over the U.S. in all generations, in all ethnicities. We got a great mix for this study. And out of 1,000 people, 80% of these grieving Americans that we put in the research study that had that to answer the questions. And by the way, if you answered too quickly, we kicked you out and got somebody else.
Oh, really?
I'm telling you, the Center of Generational Kinetics in Austin was phenomenal. And it was very tedious. It was very painstaking.
Why a quick response?
Because we felt like they weren't reading it and really thinking about their answers. So that's just how picky we were. So out of 1,000 grieving Americans, 80%, that's a lot of people. I'm not a math teacher and I taught English, but that's 800, right?
Yeah.
That's 800 out of 1,000 people. So think of a field of 1,000 people, and 800 of them are raising their hand saying that they wish the media would talk more openly about grief and how to cope. 80%.
Well, we're trying.
You are. And that, exactly. Yeah. And so that was just a real aha moment for me. And there's other stats in there about our Gen Zers. Our Gen Zers are I believe it's 19 to 26-year-old, right now. I'm born in 98. I need to get that right. I need to look that up. Sorry.
That's okay.
Gen Zers.
I don't know. Yeah. I really don't do math, so don't.
I don't either. That's why I taught English. But our Gen Zers, I know my daughter's one because she was born in 1999.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
They're hiding their emotions. 79%.
Yeah.
And that is very scary because you can take this research, because numbers always tell the truth, and you can just keep going down the rabbit hole and see, why is it so scary that Gen Zers are not showing their grief? Because Gen Zers are now doing what? Getting married, having families. So what are their children doing with their grief if their parents are hiding it? So we've got some generational things going on that should be alarming. So I just hope, my hope is that people will read my words and think, hey, here's this little farm girl from Whitney, Texas. I'm from Lake Whitney, Texas. My parents were peanut farmers, but I'm so passionate now because I've been born into this world of grief. to help those that don't have a voice, those people that are grieving and don't know where to go or don't have the foundation that I had as a child with a father who was a speaker and a minister. And,
Right.
I had such strong...
You had a strong faith.
Yes,
Yeah.
and faith.
Which is huge in coping with
Yes.
what seems to be
and
the unknowing and the
the mysteries
the
around
mystery surrounding, like, why, the whys. Why did this have to happen?
Oh, yeah. You can...
And then the anger, and then all the things that go with the stages of grief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The faith, the hope, and just bringing people along my journey. That's why I'm on earth now.
Yeah. And you as a teacher, you encouraged your students to write. Well, that was in class they were taking. They kind of had to. But how does that help people to process when you actually write? What is it about that activity that is cathartic?
I'm going to tell you what I told my students. As long as you're talking to me and not writing, you're not going to see. You've got to get out a piece of paper and get your pencil or pen and just start writing. Top of mind. Don't think too hard about it. Just top of mind. What are you thinking right in this moment? Start writing it. Start writing. I'm not going to grade it. We're going to shred it at the end of class.
Yeah.
We'll shred it. I don't even have to read it unless you want me to or unless you want to read it. But just write top of mind. What did your sister do this morning that just really ticked you off? What did your mom not let you do? What did you forget your lunch? What's going on in your life that is just bothering you? And you're not going to know what life that writing's going to take until you start writing it. And Stephen King says this in his On Writing book where he tells people how he writes. Mm-hmm. Until you sit down and start writing, you're not going to know the life that writing is going to take. Mm-hmm. And the hardest part, just like exercising, going to the gym and getting in that door, is the hardest part.
Yes, right.
When we
For
leave.
me, getting in the car.
And
driving
getting in the
over
car or playing that YouTube video for that workout. That's the hardest part. Yeah. Once you get past that, what happens? The dopamine kicks in,
right.
And you're so glad you did it because you've rewarded yourself. And you're like, this is great. This sounds really good. And then somebody else reads it and they love it. And you're like, wow. But nobody has to read it. I didn't write this really with the intention that anybody would read it. I just wanted to record everything that was happening. And I thought other people might gain some joy out of it and some hope. But getting it out of here and onto a page, you would just be shocked. Just sit down at the end of the day, get one piece of paper and just write everything that bothered you from that day. And then just sit there and go, you're going to be surprised that it really got out of you and got onto something else.
Yes, that's
and
well
then
put.
Crumple it up and chunk it.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. I mean, and that's really that. I'm so glad you described it in such a great way as to what that whole process means and how it helps. A lot more I want to talk to you about. I mean, I follow you on your Facebook page, and with any loss, there's always going to be those events, the birthdays and the holidays and all that. So we're going to talk about that and how you are able to find hope all the way. So stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. We'll be right back. A big thank you to our sponsor, Fox & Co. Bakery. Check them out for delicious baked goods and your catering needs.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Serving Central Texas since 1889, TFNB Your Bank for Life takes pride in being more than a bank. At TFNB, we remain committed to these principles. If you value them too, come join us. TFNB, Your Bank for Life.
Experience the future of secure private cloud storage with Internix. Protect your files with end-to-end encryption, ensuring your data stays private and accessible only to you. That's internxt.com today. Unlock a world of convenience with Mully Box, your one-stop solution for personalized subscription boxes delivered right to your door. Each box is tailored to your taste. Mullybox.com. That's MULLYBOX.com.
So all you have to do is tap your Popple to the back of someone's phone, like that, and they instantly get your social media and contact info right on the screen. They don't need an app or a Popple to receive your info. So get your Popple today and start impressing everyone you meet. Make it pop.
Looking for tickets to the hottest shows, games, and events? Ticket Liquidator is your one-stop shop for great prices, no hassles, and guaranteed tickets. Whether it's sports, theater, or concert, for the best seats at the biggest events, start with Ticket Liquidator today at ticketliquidator.com. Ticket Liquidator. At Tusain's, we understand that maintaining a healthy lifestyle can be challenging, especially in today's fast-paced world. That's why our mission is to make fitness accessible to everyone, anywhere. Visit Tusains.com today and start your journey to better health. That's TOUSAINS.com.
And we're back with Theo Boyd, who has written a second book. It's going to be coming out in December. In fact, December 2nd.
Yes.
And so you will be able to order. At this point, you can pre-order
order right now anywhere that books are sold. It should be on Amazon, and it is on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all the places that you would order a book. And the reason I tell people go ahead and pre-order it is because December 2nd is coming up quick, and Christmas, and I followed suit of the first book with this one. Mm-hmm. After each chapter are the journaling lines and the questions back to the reader about the chapter so that they can journal in their own hope or grief or signs. And then at the end of the book, I share 10 recipes, and 8 of them are Christmas recipes of my mother's and my grandmother's.
Oh, yeah. You know, and it's funny how those kinds of things do trigger those warm, wonderful memories. You know, this is how I try to make it the way Mother did, but it's not quite like
Right.
quite like the way Mother did. But you know, those kind of things. But I mentioned a little while ago. You know, those anniversaries and those. I mean, you never forget, and you don't want to forget. You don't want to
No.
forget.
No,
But you know, it's that pain in the pit of your stomach. I mean, that's what's so hard.
you have a new calendar that started when they died, and that
Yeah.
became your January 1, the
Yeah.
day they died to me. And, you know, and then all of a sudden it's Father's Day, and then it's Mother's Day, and then it's their birthday, and then it's their wedding anniversary, or it's their, you know, it's just all these constant reminders. So how do we get through that? I get asked that a lot. So how we get through that is those F words, and I talk about them in the first book. And hobbies make you happy. Mama always said that. But find, you know, the fun, the friends, the family, the faith, foundation, and really try to exercise getting up and getting out if you're able to.
Mhm.
You know, when we stay
Fresh
in,
air has a big impact.
you go on a walk, take your dog on a walk, just a walk for yourself, go meet a friend for a cup of coffee, getting up and getting out. I know COVID was really hard on a lot of people. It was an unwelcomed solitude, and my dad really got down because he couldn't get out and he couldn't visit, and people couldn't come visit him. But folks, we're not in that right now. So let's
No
take advantage.
excuses.
No excuses other than your health. You may not be able to, but maybe
Yeah.
you've got a phone and you can call somebody. And if you can just find that one true person, the true listener that will
Yeah.
really witness your grief and witness what you want to share, that is so important. And it's through all those little things, and it's not one big thing. It's a moderation of a bunch of different things. You're able to get through to the next day and the next and the next.
Well, you mentioned faith, and you have been candid how your faith wavered in different seasons. How do you navigate that?
Yeah, that's a hard one. I was a preacher's daughter.
Right.
So, in my life.
And you think, well, I'm supposed to respond this way to
Right.
this event in my life,
Right. And I watched
but
my
I'm not
dad.
feeling that way right now.
Exactly. And I
Yeah.
watched Daddy not respond the way I
Right.
thought a minister would.
Ah,
So, in my life, the chain of command was Jesus and Daddy. So when Daddy would curse God and just be so angry, it was
Oh.
very difficult for me to distinguish between my daddy, who was hurting and grieving in a way that only, saying the words that you need to say to get out the weight of what you're feeling. God can handle it. God
Right.
knows.
Yeah.
God knows.
Yeah.
And just seeing that, but then trying to realize, he's my daddy, but he was my preacher. So it's like a double whammy for me.
Right.
And it was just really hard. And I thought, well, if daddy's not going to believe in God, I'm not going to. There must not be one if he'd allow something like this to happen. A man of God who's only done nothing but serve God his entire life.
Mm-hmm.
And used him in this accident with my mom, then there's not a God. But, it wouldn't be a few days, and then Daddy'd be praying before he ate his lunch, and I'd be hearing him quote scripture in there in the bedroom, or I myself would stumble upon a Bible verse and realize, and then I'd pray for peace for myself and understanding, the peace that passes all understanding. Prayed that a lot. And I realized that it wasn't just me coming back to God. It was God had me the whole time coming back to me. And it was also a lot of other people's prayers. Never discount the other people in your life that are praying for you.
Yeah.
And when people say, I'm going to pray for you, don't lessen that. Don't discount that. That is so powerful. And I know, I got chills.
Yeah.
I know it's the prayers of other people is the reason I'm here.
And to know they love you enough to want to lift you up.
Yes.
To God, I heard it just recently. God is not afraid of you asking why.
Yeah.
He can handle that.
I think so. He created the heavens and the earth.
Yeah.
So Daddy always said,
Yeah.
if you believe Genesis 1:1, you shouldn't have a problem with anything else.
Right. And of course, then I think, like in your dad's case, and there is a pretty popular or at least well-known story in the Bible about Job, a gentleman who lost everything,
Job,
but did not curse God. So
right. And I would tiptoe around Job a little bit with Daddy, because Daddy knew that book so
you knew
well.
he knew that. Yeah.
And in that book, I've been doing my own research in that. Job had some not so called friends in the area that were saying to him, do you not see the stars that God has planted there? How would you question? And Job wasn't, but they were saying to Job when he was right there, I believe, on the edge of questioning, how can you question a God who's put the stars? How do they hang so perfectly?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. If you'll read, I think it's 36, Job 36, chapter 36. And it's just so beautiful. And the reason I'm even talking about this is my former brother-in-law died suddenly about a month ago, 41 years old, and 49 years old. And my nephew's 17, and it was just he had fallen, hit his head, and died. Didn't go to the doctor and fell asleep. Be very careful with those falls, people. But I just adored him and heartbroken for my nephew. But I read a poem at his funeral. And he was a real good tech guy, wizard. He helped everybody with their computers. And so I called it the cloud alert. And I talked about how he's up there working on a cloud right now. And so I looked into Job and how some of his friends there were saying, do you question the God who hangs the stars in the sky? So God, he hangs the stars in the sky for us. How do we not think he's going to be prepared for things like this? He knows what we're going through, and God has an ultimate plan. In Romans 8:28, all things work together for good. When God says all things, he doesn't mean all good things. God will turn all things, good and bad, into something good. So Daddy, that was one of his favorite verses. We used it at his funeral, but God has turned those things that happened to me into good to help others through these books and the story of Joe, Bob, and Sue.
Yeah. Oh, that is so good. So what does this phrase mean to you now? Hope all the way.
Well, it's funny because there's a lot of books out there with hope in the title. So it was really hard for me to find a title. I was like, hope now, hope that,
Hope floats.
Exactly, which I mentioned in this book. A lot of similarities in that story and my life.
Yeah.
Hope. And I started thinking about the things in the book. So all the chapters are titled different ways that you would order your steak or eggs.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well done, over easy, scrambled, burned. And so rare, raw, the chapters are all named
Right.
different ways you would order
Interesting.
your steak and eggs. And so I started thinking, sometimes we just want something. I'll just take that all the way. I want a hamburger all the way. And I thought, you know what? I want hope all the way. I want it all the way. So that's why it's all the way, because it's how you would order your baked potato or your steak or your meal all the way.
Yeah. It's coming out in December, soon to be here. What message do you most want people to take away from your book, Hope
I
All the
want
Way?
them to open their eyes, the grievers out there, open your eyes to the signs around you. So I share 8 very jaw-dropping signs that I got from Mama, Daddy, and God all along my way. And it's everything from a voicemail to a radio thing to a butterfly. And I share those signs in the book. And the signs are there. They are still with us, our loved ones, but we just have a different relationship with them now. It's not the same as it was with their physical body here on earth. I still have a relationship with my mom and dad. It's just a different one. So the signs are in here because, discovering divine signs, I would see them right after Mama died, and I'd jot it down. And then I'd see a few signs after Daddy died, and I'd jot it down. And then I realized these are the signs showing me my path, lighting up my path, showing me the way. So we've got to open our eyes because our loved ones are up there. God, and God too, we don't discount that. God's showing us the way.
Absolutely.
Every time I doubt, Ann, on this journey, I doubt what I'm doing. Every time I worry maybe about money, it takes money to keep going. Every time I worry about anything trivial like that, then I go to my mailbox. There's a check in my mailbox. It happened last Monday. I was just telling somebody, it's stressful because we're trying to keep moving and trying to keep going forward, but it costs to travel and do all these things.
Right.
Then I went to my mailbox. There was a check. It was like a little bit of a refund from an insurance premium I'd overpaid 6 months ago, but it was still, that's a sign.
It sure is.
And every time that I doubt or I worry or I do the Theo things, the earthly Theo things, then I go to my mailbox and there's money, or I get a little extra here. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. So I know that I'm on the right path. And the 2 most important days of your life, the day you were born, the day you know why you were born. And I know I was born to write that first book, their story, to help people. And I know that I was put on earth to continue it and write the hope story to show everybody the hope side of things.
Yeah. Are you still writing?
Oh, yes. My next book
Okay, good.
will be out in less than 3 years. I'm trying to get one out under 3 years. So this will come out December, right under 3 years of the first one.
Right.
The second book is a collection of my dad's bedtime stories. So it'll be for young children.
Oh, a children's
With
book.
illustrations. It'll be one book with a lot of different stories. I think we got about 5 I'm putting in there. Daddy would stand in our bedroom doorway and tired from being in the field all day and just lean on the door and just tell us these stories out of his head. And I remember them so vividly. And so now I'm putting pictures to the words. They're inspired by my dad. I'm writing them out. And I have an illustrator here in Waco. She's amazing. And I'm going to have some children's stories. And I'm really happy about that because at a book event, I'll have things for the adults. And then the little kids that are there, I'll actually have some books for them.
And you are doing some media. I've seen some media appearances. And you're doing a podcast. Tell me about your podcast.
Yeah, I have a podcast. It's not fancy. It's called Think Theo. And I've had it since I started in 2020 after Mama's death, actually late 2019. I actually started it called Smilecast because I was trying to find a reason to smile.
Yeah.
And I just have people on that are grieving, and we talk about loss, and it's continued. And I took a real long hiatus there after Daddy's death in 2022. And now I've started back season 5 this season and had a lot of great guests. And I just jump on a Zoom with people, and then we put it on all the outlets, and it goes from there. And it's been very enlightening.
Oh, that's great. For someone who's listening and maybe still in the throes of grief, what is your advice for them?
Be gentle with yourself. Give yourself grace in your grief. We're so hard on ourselves, aren't we? I've got to get to that thing I promised them I would. I've got to make that thing I promised I would do it. Give yourself some grace. And Give a little more credit to the people around you. They know you've experienced a loss, and they're going to do whatever you ask them to do. They're ready. They would just love if you would ask them to do something, but give yourself some grace and have somebody to talk to. I recommend a professional counselor that is trained in your specific type of loss, and that's very important. I myself am a grief educator, so I can educate and talk to people. And, a lot of our counselors don't get a lot of grief training in their counseling training. They have to go do that separately, and it's extra. So make sure that the counselor you're talking to has counseled grief, and specifically your type of grief. If it was an accident, you lost your loved one, or dementia.
Or a crime.
Yes,
Something
a murder.
traumatic.
Yes,
Yeah.
make sure you're
Wow.
talking to somebody that's kind of got an edge on that, and they're able to help you. And if not, seek out a grief educator. You can contact me. I'd love to talk. Nothing gives me more joy than talking to somebody that is where I was.
For those loved ones, I mean, we talked about praying for them for sure, but are there some other tangible things that a friend of someone who's grieving can do?
The most important thing you can do, and I don't know why, but it's the hardest for we humans, is to just sit and say nothing and just sit with them. Just sit here, and if they're grieving, they want to lay on the couch, let them lay there. Just sit there. Go maybe get some groceries for them, go cook for them. But if they don't want to talk, don't let them, because when they do want to talk, they will. But the most important thing you can do is just offer your ear, because when our mouth is moving, our ears ain't working. And it's very important to let that person know that you're witnessing their grief. Everybody wants to be heard. And when they lose someone, they feel like that person that they've lost is forgotten and unheard. So just give them the space to grieve through their words. Give them the space to tell you about their loss.
You have shown that grief and joy can coexist. How have you experienced that truth in your own life?
I've always been a peppy person. I graduated Whitney High School in 1990, and I was class clown out of about, I think we had 90 students. I was the class clown. So I that's why I made such a good high school teacher, because I knew all the shenanigans that were going on in the room. I've always been a joyful person. And Daddy, I remember a long time ago, we were sitting at the dinner table, and I said, I've never been depressed or gotten down. And Daddy said, well, you've never really had anything big happen, and you always have chosen to look on the brighter side. And so as I'm going through this and found my daddy, died by suicide, how can I find the joy in this? And I'm going to be honest, you don't. You're in the black there for a while. You stay in the dark, and that's where you need to be. But you've got to eventually, the black paint that's covering you will eventually dry, and then it'll crack, and then it'll break off, and then there's little bits of light that shine through, and you've got to look to those, because those are hope. And we've all got to have hope. And God gives us hope through his Son. And I think there's nothing more beautiful than being in the dark and seeing the little bits of light. Because like Dolly Parton says, you can't enjoy the rainbow till you've went through the rain.
Right.
You can't get up to the top of the mountain until you go through the valley. And God uses those dark times to show us a different way, a brighter way, and use us as a testimony to help others. And that's what it's all about, is our life helping other people that are down. And we're all best suited to serve who we once were. And I was that 47-year-old high school English teacher, home for the summer, not a care in the world really, other than I didn't have to do lesson plans anymore, and I was going to sleep in, and then drop to my knees, a phone call that changes it all.
Yeah.
And we've got to decide right then, well, not right then, but we've got to eventually decide, are we going to stay down, or are we going to take this and use it as fuel to power us to help others? And I hope that I've used my gift and Daddy's beautiful gift of writing. He wrote beautiful poetry about the farm, and he wrote beautiful sermons. And I've shared some poems in here and some extra writings I've done. And nothing gives me greater joy than writing and then seeing somebody relate to it and enjoy it and benefit from it. We've got to find that joy in our life. What is it that brings you the most joy? And hang on that and keep doing those things.
Right. So again, how can you get the book?
You can email me and I'll make sure you get it. You can go to Amazon, you can go to Target online, Barnes & Noble online, Books A Million online, anywhere books are sold, and you can pre-order it. And December 2nd, it comes out. I wanted to make sure it was early enough that it would come in the mail and you'd have it by Christmas.
Yeah.
And we also have bulk order packages for like book clubs and even companies, corporations, if they want to pre-order book, boxes of 100 or two and have me come speak next year to their employees. That's what I would really love to start doing more of, is speaking to companies, because when you can get your employees to realize that you are hearing them, you're witnessing their grief. It's really hard when an employee loses an immediate family member, because they get 3-4 days off work, maybe a week. They have to take their own vacation. But yet when they're expecting a life into the world, they get 6 or 8 weeks.
Several weeks, yeah.
Yeah. But when we lose a life, we get a few days. So I think by showing our employees that we care as employers, and we're going to have this lady come talk, and she's going to lift us up, and it's going to improve the creativity and improve the production, improve the camaraderie, and improve the relationship, just knowing that their employers care and offer resources for their grief.
Right. Right. Because again, I mean, these kinds of things affect everyone, and knowing the best ways to cope are really going to help folks in the long run. And I know you've helped a lot of people, and that's got to be gratifying to you too.
It's nothing gives me greater joy.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Theo,
Thank
for being
you.
with us today, and look forward to the book coming out. Be
Enjoy
a
the
great
recipes.
gift certainly for anyone who's experienced loss, for sure. Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead. If your home's feeling a bit dated, or you're dreaming of that beautiful outdoor oasis, I have got the team for you. Gather & Co., the family-owned remodeling pros right here in Greater Waco since 1998. Led by the Falconberry family, they specialize in stunning kitchen and bathroom makeovers. Think custom walk-in showers, sleek cabinetry, and aging-in-place upgrades for easy living. They also nail outdoor spaces with pergolas, patio covers, sunrooms, and screen rooms that turn your backyard into a year-round retreat. What sets them apart? Personalized designs, top-notch craftsmanship, and a hassle-free process for free in-home consultations to spot-on completion, plus financing options to make it simple. Customers love them, raving about the friendly crew and attention to every detail. Ready to gather in your dream home? Call Gather & Co. today, 254-759-1147 for a no-obligation quote. Visit GatherCoRemodeling.com. Your remodel starts here.
Cleanse your body of accumulated toxins and embark on your wellness journey at your own pace. At Global Healing, we provide premium supplements to help your body heal naturally. Start your healing journey today at globalhealing.com and organichemp.com.
At Covers & All, we've revolutionized protective solutions with cutting-edge, customizable covers, tarps, and curtains. We deliver premier protection at affordable prices and express shipping. Visit coversandall.com today for the perfect fit, guaranteed to last.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Welcome back to the show. We are going to shine the light on a very special event that is benefiting a very special project in Temple, the Ronald McDonald House. And I'm so excited to have Evelyn Balley here back with us. You and your friend Stuart were here from Ronald McDonald House not too long ago. We talked at length about the wonderful work that is being done there to provide a place for families who have children that are in the hospital.
Correct.
A safe, wonderful place to stay. That all takes money.
Yes.
And so your job, Evelyn, is as a fundraising coordinator for Ronald McDonald Charities. And so you've got a very special event coming up on December 6th.
Yes. It is our first ever Red Gala benefiting the Ronald McDonald House, presented by Baylor Scott and White McLean Children's Hospital.
Well, and this is going to be at a venue that is really kind of exciting to me. It's called Cathedral Oaks, and it's in Belton.
It is.
So tell me about that.
The Cathedral Oaks is an amazing family-owned facility. They started off with one building, an older, I think it's like 100-year-old building with hardwood floors.
Oh.
It is just
an antique home.
Yes, an antique home. It just where you can have small gatherings and things like that. We are able to use the larger facility that they just built. Unbelievably beautiful. It has a large reception area, bathrooms on site, catering area on site, and then this outdoor patio that opens up into the woods. It just
how
looks
lovely.
Beautiful. Part of our Red Gala is we're going to have a VIP area, and that VIP area is going to be out there on the, I'm going to call it a veranda, the patio, overlooking the trees. It's just going to be gorgeous.
Yeah. Well, and again, this is a first event, so you have no blueprint, really.
Exactly.
So
Sky's
here we
the
go,
limit.
So, but you've been planning this a little while, and so tell me who all is involved with the planning, and how long have you been working on this Red Gala?
We've been working on it since the beginning of the year.
Okay.
We are our core staff at the Ronald McDonald House has been pitching in, getting live auction items and reindeer magic items needed to help fund this event, to help us gather momentum. We have the live auction that is going to be part of our program, and then after that, there's going to be dancing. So we have fun gathering meeting area. Then we're going to have the food provided by TCP Catering. It is phenomenal.
Oh,
so we're going to eat. We're going to eat.
You got to taste it ahead of time. I understand.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Very good.
It's
food.
so good.
Yeah. Good.
And then we're going to have our live auction, and after the live auction, we go to dancing. So
just a fun Christmas event.
Yes.
So how did you come up with this red theme, the Red Gala?
Well,
other than it's Christmas.
And actually, Christmas was just a bonus.
Yeah.
A part of our colors are red and blue. So a couple of the other houses have red events, but I'm not sure if they have red galas. So we took on part of that kind of out there in the sphere-ness and adopted it for us to be a part of the other houses, but be individual on our own.
Yeah. And there are Ronald McDonald houses all throughout the United
Yes.
States, but very few in Central Texas. In fact, I think
Correct.
Temple may be the only.
Temple is the only one in Central Texas. There is one in Austin and one in Dallas, and one in Houston, and that is it for Texas.
Well, so this is going to be, again, at Cathedral Oaks. That is 1312 Waco Road. Interesting. In Belton. Starts at 5 and ends at 10. So it's going to be a lovely evening party.
It is going to be amazing. And we are lucky enough to have our thank you gifts made by Salado Glassworks. So everyone's going to get a hand-blown ornament. And every year,
how wonderful.
Everyone will get a hand-blown ornament to put on their tree.
Oh,
to remind them of the evening and what they gave.
That is
it's
great.
It's a season of giving, and to just remind you, like I showed up, I attended, I made difference, and that's what matters.
Well, and that's what matters, because I do want to talk to you some about Ronald McDonald House and how you are helping families. Now, it is a home-like environment.
It's very much a home-like environment. It is an 18-room home. Some of the beds, we have 5 rooms that are a single queen bed. And then other rooms all the other rooms have 2 queen size beds. So
like a hotel room.
Like a hotel room, exactly. So if aunts or uncles or grandmas or grandpas or anyone else that you need support needs to stay with you, they definitely can. We have room for them. And I see that a lot, especially if you have children. So the grandparents will stay with the kids and make sure they're okay while the mom and dad go and help the family that is in the hospital. The child's in the hospital. There is no kick-out time. As long as your child is in the hospital, you can stay with us. So sometimes it's 2 weeks, sometimes it's 4 months. It all depends, and we are here for them every step of the way. We have 2 large kitchens where they can make the meals anytime they want. We have a pantry available to them so they don't have to go out and buy food. If they want to, they can. But financial times are rough, and so sometimes you just don't have that, especially if you're not able to work and you have to be with your child. We try to provide as much as we possibly can. We also have an on-site laundry room where they can do their laundry anytime they want to. So we try to take care of as many needs as possible and provide a safe, nurturing home for them.
And this is at no charge?
No charge. Absolutely no charge.
Yeah.
So we are highly... we rely on the donations of people, cereal, toilet paper. So what you need for your home.
Cleaning supplies.
Cleaning
you
supplies.
name it.
Anything that you need for your home, we need it by 18 families.
You've got 18
18 families every single day. But it's a blessing. The community comes together, and this is just an extension. The Red Gala is just an extension of that. People coming together to create goodness into the world. To create harmony so that these families don't have to worry about an extra thing. We are in need, for the Red Gala, we are in need of live auction items and reindeer magic items. So basically a silent auction item. We have a reindeer...
What, is there a value?
Yes, the reindeer magic is a value of $500 or more.
Okay, wow.
With that comes 2 tickets to the Red Gala.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you donate, you're able to get your name or your logo or whatever it is that you would like to donate or contribute to, and then you actually get to come and have a good time.
Yeah. So tickets are going fast. I know we're about a month out, but still.
We are very, very limited. We have 1 table left.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
All right, but plenty of other opportunities for sponsors.
There are lots of other opportunities for sponsorships. We have a couple of trips that we're auctioning off, so we could definitely use sponsorship for any of those trips.
Yeah.
And then we still have the live auction items. We can have sponsorships would be amazing. That would be phenomenal. Yes.
Well, this fun. I mean, you've got a DJ, I understand.
We do.
And it's going to be
Mr. Carlos is going to be
fun dancing
in his tuxedo, like living the party up. We have Texas Tour Gears, who's going to do our audio visual, and I'm going to ask him to bring some super extra fun special lights and maybe a fog machine. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But you are calling this semi-formal
Yes, we
attire,
are.
so-
But if you want to wear all sparkle, you definitely can.
Oh, okay.
Like if
okay.
you want to go super formal, we're not stopping you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And red. You're kind
And
of encouraging red. Yeah.
Red, burgundies, maroons, all the colors of the red.
Okay.
Yeah.
So tickets have. So you said there's only one table left.
there
though, with
is.
individual tickets.
Individual tickets are $75.
Okay.
A table is $750 of 10. So that's how we kind of get that number.
Mm-hmm.
And we are just reindeer magic is the way to get in.
Yeah. Oh, well, that sounds wonderful. Again, this is presented by Baylor Scott and White McLean Children's Hospital.
Yes, it is.
Because those good folks know the benefit
They absolutely
of Ronald
do.
McDonald House
We
for their
are
families.
so grateful to be partnership with them.
Yeah.
It's just amazing. They are really great people over there. And we get to work with the social workers every day to make sure that the families who need to come stay with us get to stay with us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a great partnership. We are incredibly grateful that they are our presenting sponsor.
Well, and if you can't make it to the Red Gala on December 6th, but you can go online and you contribute.
Absolutely. Also volunteering. If you'd like to volunteer,
Right.
we have that available also.
Yeah, so many good things that are happening there at the Ronald McDonald House in Temple. And you're just doing all the good with the fundraising, and I'm sure there are going to be some other things coming. But this is a first event.
It's a first event.
But it's not your only fundraiser, is it?
No, we have clay shoot
Okay.
in October, and then we have a golf tournament in May.
Okay, well, you'll have to come
Yeah,
back.
I will.
Please do.
I would love that.
Evelyn, thank you so
Thank
much.
you
Thank you
so
for all you're doing for
much.
Ronald McDonald House.
I appreciate
Again,
it.
the Red Gala presented by Baylor Scott and White McLean Children's will be Saturday, December 6th at Cathedral Oaks on Waco Road in
Yes.
Belton
Yes.
from 5 to 10 p.m. It's going to be great.
Oh, it's going to be amazing. I can't wait.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Stay with us. There is more of the show ahead.
Experience the perfect blend of exquisite craftsmanship and life-changing technology with Gevi. Every product is built with precision, featuring specialized parts that ensure durability, efficiency, and safety. Upgrade your everyday with Gevi. Visit us at gevi.com to discover more.
Farmhounds offers natural treats and chews made with quality products that support family farm, regenerative agriculture, and humane farming practices. Give your dog the best with wholesome, organic ingredients that promote health and happiness. Shop now at farmhounds.com.
Get paid faster with Bill, the easiest way to send, receive, and manage your payments. No more delays, no more hassle. Whether you're a freelancer or a business, Bill makes payments seamless and secure, simple, fast, and reliable. Sign up today at Bill.com. Launched in 2023, ushers in a new era of sapphire ice cooling technology, offering nearly painless hair reduction in just 3 weeks. That's ulike.com. You like. With a focus on performance, design, and customer service, we're here to help you work smarter, not harder. Join us on our journey to simplify your world. Visit acasis.com today. That's ACASIS.com today.
VivoSun's mission is to empower growers with stylish and effective products, making indoor growing accessible and enjoyable for everyone. Visit vivosun.com today and get started making growing plants and vegetables easy and automatic.
With Ease US, make studio quality voiceovers for your videos online in over 149 languages and dialects. Never been easier to create professional grade videos and voiceovers. Try it today at easeus.com. That's EASEUS.com. Ease US.
Don't wanna fall in love. No, I don't wanna fall in love. No, I no, Nobody loves no one.
Dive into adventure with Scuba.com, your ultimate destination for top-tier scuba and snorkeling gear. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, trust Scuba.com for the best in diving equipment and expert guidance. Explore now at Scuba.com. That's SCUBA.com. Scuba.com.
This is what $500,000 in a duffel bag looks like. Actually not real. That's because it's actually prop money. It looks realistic from a distance, but up close you can see it says for motion picture purposes. Visit PropMoney.com today to get your money seen or money shot right with Prop Money Inc.
Finding a sleep sack that my baby likes has been a struggle.
The sleep sack from Joy is a major upgrade.
It is all natural eucalyptus, which is breathable and hypoallergenic.
Natural Cycles identifies your fertile window by analyzing changes in your temperature. Just measure in the morning, add your temperature into the app, then learn which days you can and cannot get pregnant. It's that easy. Learn more at naturalcycles.com.
It's the Restore Clarity Focus Patch, my little secret weapon for staying sharp, focused, and on task. Each box comes with simple instructions inside, so you always know exactly how to apply it. Each patch lasts for 3 days. I love that I can wear it all day.
BadCreditLoans.com is a pioneering service provider that has carved a reputation in the financial industry. Simple, fast, and reliable loan application process. And its commitment to responsible borrowing makes it a trusted partner in the journey towards financial stability.
Welcome to Kitbag, the ultimate destination for football fans. Whether you're cheering for Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, or any other top club, for true football passion, think Kitbag. Visit kitbag.com today. That's KITBAG.com. Kitbag. Since 2014, we've been creating vegan, clean, and affordable skincare with proven actives and potent botanicals designed to treat your ever-changing skin. Celebrate our first decade of transformation today at facetheory.com/US-EN. Face Theory.
Tasmanian spring water range from Sand and Sky. This range is really good for dry and dehydrated skin like myself, packed with 2 types of hyaluronic acid, fermented sea kelp to reduce redness, and my skin feels so dewy and so hydrated.